Hello, my name is Carrie Andreoletti, and I'm a professor of psychology at Central Connecticut State University. I've been teaching about healthy relationships for the past 15 years, so I'd like to welcome you to this Aging Mastery Program video, where we're going to talk about healthy relationships and why they're so important to a long, healthy life. So a healthy relationship is an important part of well-being across the lifespan. Everyone has a need to belong, no matter their age, and so our social connections are a really important part of that. And so everybody has the desire to be valued and needed, and so healthy relationships are those relationships where you can be yourself and where there's a certain level of trust and connection. A relationship that's healthy is one where you feel comfortable to voice your thoughts and your opinions, and you feel supported and completely accepted for who you are as a person. I learned this quote from Ashton Applewhite, and she says, "Long life is a team sport." Ashton Applewhite talks about the independence trap, right? Our culture values independence, and we think that we need to be independent. But the reality is, as we get older, we might need more help. And one way to take control of your own life and your own independence is to be the one to ask for that help. It's okay to ask for help. And in that way, you have control over, your own life. And I want to challenge you to think about, what does it mean to be independent? We all need support, and it's okay to ask for that support when we need it. Long life is a team sport, and so you should think about who's on your team, right? So think about your social network, and you can think about the people closest to you who help you on a regular basis, but also think about maybe people that you're not as close to, but maybe you could call on if you needed to. Who else is on your team? Think about the healthcare professionals that provide your healthcare. Do you have good relationships with them? If not, you should think about maybe changing doctors. It's your right to create the team that you want to help you get where you want to go. At the same time, relationships are a two-way street. If there's people in your life that you rely on, also think about what do you do for them to help and to support them, because it should really go both ways. Isolation and loneliness is an increasing problem in our society, and this is something that's affecting not just older adults but also younger adults. And we know that it's really bad for your health. Research has even shown that it's as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, which we know is certainly not good at all. When someone becomes isolated, then they are at risk for becoming depressed. They may stop taking care of themselves, stop exercising, not eating well, and all of these things can kind of snowball and cause real problems. So your social support network is a really important part of fighting loneliness and isolation. Research shows you can have lots of acquaintances and relationships, up to like 150, but you really need 5 people in your network. So it's not that many. 5 close relationships can make a real difference. Different people can fulfill different needs in your life. So even having your neighbor that when you both see each other, when you go out to pick up your paper, that you wave to and you say hi to, that's an important connection, because it's your neighbor that's going to notice one day if you don't come out and pick up your paper. When you go get your coffee every morning at the local coffee shop and you see the same people and you say hello. Some people just provide really emotional support, where they're there for us to call, we can vent. Sometimes you need a friend to complain about your kids, right? So, or complain about your family, or maybe help you make a decision about your finances or your doctor. And then sometimes there's those friends, and it may be a family member, who provides support, like driving you to doctor's appointments or taking you to the store, that provides kind of concrete support. I just want to share with you a story. My mother-in-law, she spent years as a caregiver, and when she became a widow, and actually soon after becoming a widow, she lost her dog as well. So she went through this period of course, grieving, and because she had been a caregiver, it isolated her from a lot of her friends. It was difficult at first, but she started reaching out to those friends and reconnecting and rebuilding those relationships. And as she did that, and those people became part of her day-to-day life again, she started to feel better, and they encouraged her to do other things. One of the things that helped her at the beginning was when there was a social worker who was actually coming and checking in with her that she thought was kind of silly, but she did still speak to the social worker and encouraged her to make these new connections. Gardens need to be watered, to be nurtured, right, to grow, just like relationships need that. So as we get older, we have to be more selective with our time and our energy. So it's normal to have a smaller garden as you get older. But your garden, no matter the size, you still need to take care of it. You still need to water it. You still need to feed your plants. Gardens need weeding. Sometimes we have to do pruning. So when you think about your garden also as your social network, sometimes we do have those relationships in our lives where people are either not treating us well or maybe asking too much of us. I think everyone can think of those relationships in their lives that kind of suck you dry. So sometimes we do have to let those relationships go. We can't be everything to everyone. And it's okay to prune your garden on occasion. I hope you've enjoyed this Aging Mastery Program video on healthy relationships, and I wish you good luck with your team and your garden. Goodbye.